You know, nation, sometimes even your great leader, sometimes your prophet that will guide you to the promised land, sometimes even he can be wrong. Whenever I first heard Virtual 11 by Iron Maiden, I immediately fell in love with Blaze Bayley's voice. I actually heard that before I heard the X Factor. And because of my love for his voice, which of course has led me down the road of becoming one of his biggest fans during his solo career, I really gave Virtual 11 a little bit too much credit whenever it was first released, openly admitting at points that I loved the album. Well, I've had a number of years to rethink that argument, re-listen to the disc, and just kind of develop and hone my skills as an objective reviewer. And I realized that I fell victim to something that most of the time only happens to rock fans, rap fans, country fans, popular music fans, basically every fan out there, typically except for metal fans. I fell in love with this record for just a couple of songs, as opposed to falling in love with this record as a whole. And that is why I have to say that Virtual 11 has probably got to be my pick for the worst Iron Maiden record in their 15 now. It's hard for me to say, it kills me to say, but I'm going to present you with the argument of why it's hard for me to say, whereas for some of you others, this is pretty much like saying the Pittsburgh Pirates suck. It's not only just an opinion, it's true. Virtual 11 was the second Blaze Bayley Iron Maiden album, and at first, the first thing that you see whenever you glance on the back is that there's only 8 tracks, and something that you're also noticing with me is that I'm not holding up an album cover. For something that I loved as much as I claimed I did whenever I was younger, I never did pick up this album. In fact, once I kind of learned my stupidity was stupidity, I just burnt it. I will eventually buy it. However, I hope to find an original. It's one of the main reasons why it's not in my collection right now. However, this is an album that I could easily have given an 8, perhaps, whenever I was younger and more stupid. However, that would be kind of like me giving you guys a spelling test, having you guys spell half of the words correctly, and then giving you 30% for the hell of it. Because in reality, this album is a 50% album for me. I like 50% of the songs. I actually love 50% of the songs. And the other 50% is just kind of there. Some of them are tolerable. Others are atrocious. First, I'm going to get into the songs that I enjoy. Future Real, The Educated Fool, Como Esta Amigo, and The Klansman. These 4 tracks really made this album gold in my eyes for a long time. Future Real, quick little track. That's where I really fell in love with Blaze's voice because it was quick, it was aggressive, but at the same time it fit him. It fit his style. So they actually did a good job on this particular song, keeping it within his range, which is something that the X Factor at points they did not do a good job in doing. Klansman is just an epic song. It's a song that actually inspired me to write a couple of tracks in the past, one entitled Napoleon Bonaparte, to be honest, which is actually a pretty cool track. If I had any musical talent, it'd probably resemble The Klansman a lot. The Educated Fool is one of my favorite tracks of all time by Iron Maiden, and I will admit that to you guys right here, right now in front of you, because it is quite possibly Blaze at his finest. This is one of his most really dedicated vocal performances, one of his most powerful vocal performances, and a lot of people may consider the lyrics to be rather cheesy. However, I think it's very poignant. I think this is very well written. I believe that these lyrics were very well thought out. There is a lot of thoughtfulness whenever he was writing these words, and he definitely exhibited it in the way in which he performed them. Love that track. Como esta, amigo, the fitting finale. Great guitar solo, great work. Just, it's hard really to not like this song. Yes, como esta, amigo, I think technically means what's up, friends. But who cares? Como esta, amigo sounds fucking cool, doesn't it? Not to mention the song itself is killer. If you're looking at me like you're retarded for liking a song that in Spanish may just mean "What's up, friends," well, listen to the song. "What's up, friends" has never sounded that good since "Como está, amigo." Then you get into "The Angel and the Gambler." This is whenever you realize that bad things can happen even to your favorite band, including thinking that your CD has skipped over and over again, only to realize that it has not. Yes, this is infamous. Don't you think I can save you? Don't you think I can save you? Don't you think I can save your life? Like 70 goddamn times. For Christ's sake, Blaze, we got the point! Love you, Blaze, I really do. But I don't know what the hell you guys were thinking on this one. It may not actually have been all Blaze, to be honest. It may not have been at all. I don't care enough right now to look it up. I'm just saying, guys, come on. Come on. This was bad. This was really bad. Which sucks because whenever you listen to this track, whenever you hear it from the beginning, it sounds promising. It sounds really promising. It sounds like it could be really good. But this just destroys it. Lightning Strikes Twice. Yet another song that has potential. And then Blaze is kind of expected to be Bruce. Doesn't work. Those are the two that really come to mind that I had the biggest qualm with. The problem with the other two is that I didn't care enough to remember them. Whenever my favorite band is making songs that I don't care to remember, we got an issue. Because on the X Factor, I didn't name each and every track whenever I did that review, but I could if I wanted to, if I had all the time in the world to kill, if I was doing a seminar called X Factor. Musically, this album is a lot different than the X Factor. They turned up the volume a notch so you no longer have that atmosphere where it's very brooding. You still get it in spurts with Educated Fool and with Klansman, but it's only spurts. Once it gets turned up, the whole track gets turned up. It lights up like a Christmas tree. The music itself isn't bad. The music is actually probably the strongest point on this album. However, conceptually and lyrically, this has strong material and weak material. As I said before, whenever I was younger and much stupider, I probably would have given this album an 8 out of 10. But I am older, I am wiser, and I am harsher. I am now a man who is form fit and ready to give one of his favorite bands a harsh rating. 6.5 out of 10. Arguably the lowest out of all the albums. Still breaks my heart because I do love half of it. But half of the songs does not make a whole album, obviously. I think there's fractions out there that prove that mathematically. And really, just as a point of principle, I, as a reviewer, cannot fall victim to the trap where 4 songs out of 8 make something great. It's something that a Lil Wayne fan does. Here's a song on the radio, buys the album, realizes the rest of it sucks, keeps it for the one song, or sells it back. I hate to use that as a metaphor when describing an Iron Maiden album. It's blasphemous. I should probably be burnt alive right now. But that's kind of the harsh reality. But don't worry. Don't worry, fans. The pain is over. 3 unsuccessful albums out of 4 in my personal opinion. 4 out of 4 for many of you. And enough was enough. A change had to be made. Something had to happen. The phoenix had to rise again from the ashes. What was that change, though? Do you know? Stay tuned.